What are you looking at, Carl?
I'm looking at this 200-year-old cedar tree.
How old?
Over 200 years old.
200-year-old. What kind? What is it?
Cedar.
Oh my gosh. 200-year-old. I'm sure it's a cedar tree. It is. Carl said it was. Look, holy moly. Wow. 200-year-old. I wonder if they know that. That's the estimate. They're pretty close, I'm sure. But these trees just don't get that old. That's why we're saying 200 years old. And look how big it's got. Let me just kind of show them how big it gets in 200 years. Thanks, Carl. This is bad. Awesome. Nice.
Got one more up there.
And these canes seem to accompany these old cedars everywhere they're at, like they're guarding it or giving it shade, working with it to help it grow, protecting it. Exactly. Exactly. You know, and this is something that brought up that I promise you I've always believed, that I'm not telling you this tree is alive and it bleeds and, you know, it goes to, the health department or goes shopping, but do I believe it's alive?
Because we see it.
I do believe it's alive because it's part of another system. I believe that it reacts to different situations and different, you know what I'm saying? Not, of course not like a human, but it's a part of let's say a nerve center. Look at that cedar. Look at the limbs. Look how it's growing. Look at that one too. But so you got to know that these roots and these trees are coming up through steel stone is under us, just like down there. This is ancient seismic activity. That was a flow of that was a
river back in the day.
That was a flow of lava, that rock that come from ancient, seismic activity in the Earth's mantle and crust. I know what I'm looking at when I see that. Oh, huh?
You didn't see no pretty one down there?
What are you talking about?
I got something pretty in there.
Got pretty what?
Rocks, stone, bigger
yeah.
stone with,
well,
with
I'm
flint
look,
in it. With
look,
flint in it.
I'm feeling a certain way. Now, I ain't saying I'm scared. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that this place has got a weird vibe. A very, help me. What? It changed from down there when we passed the 200-year-old tree and got to here. It's like something else that lives here. It's something
It is.
It's something lives here.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I feel it. You feel it? You know what I'm saying?
I know it is.
We're on the same page, right?
I know.
Not like something's not looking at us, but this is something else's environment.
Territory.
Exactly, territory. Thank you.
Just somebody
I
else.
love, Carl to me is what Don Monroe is to MK Davis. Don Monroe will help MK finish the sentence when he really can't think of anything because he's really more knowledgeable than anybody knows. And MK, if it wasn't for Don Monroe or maybe for Carl, I wouldn't know half of what I'm trying to convey here. So let's carry on because this is worth it. Oh wow, what in the do you like old barns, people? Friends and neighbors, do you like old barns? This is cedar. It was all sawmilled right here and put here. These are cedar shakes. When I tell you that's 1900s art carpentry work. That's not painted, y'all. Them ain't stripes. Them are cedar shakes turned into an awning and turned different ways to repel water, and the colors are different because of that. These are real milled on site, I'm sure, rough cut cedar boards. It's all cedar. It's all cedar. It's been painted over. And I mean, it might not impress y'all, but I'm from Alabama and I see oak and pine and stuff like that. We really value our cedar here because we know what all that cedar holding this up. Y'all can see the orange. This is a very big orange stall. We got some dogs here now, but you can imagine the amazing horses that were kept in these. Hey, hey, buddy.
Down.
I'm hollering at my buddy. Look, I ain't sitting me petting his dog because his dog's a work dog. They're not pets, but anyway. So, I don't know. It's steeped in history. You can tell it. Let's look at this fence. They wasn't worried about a few knotholes. As a matter of fact, this board right here, look at the knothole. That's been there forever. A horse is not going to get through that, so why, you know, and it looks really neat. You know, everything about this is neat. Even the chicken wire around those stalls, you know, have a little chicken wire because of not of anything getting out, because what they kept in there was, you know, sure they didn't have to have chicken wire to keep it in, but to keep out varmints and raiders and chicken thieves and, you know, weasels, things that, there's things in Alabama that, you know, I've never seen, and I know, but I know they're here. Wow. I love old antique, and especially antique construction, because that's my thing. I'm a construction worker, and you know, this is old, and generations of owners. And this is not a plantation, although it looks exactly like what you would, if you was going to set a movie scene up of a plantation and deep in the South, it would look so much like this property. Look at that big old house, probably built in 1900. Sure. If that's a 200-year-old tree, yeah, let's just do some math. I mean, I can do math, I guess, but take me a minute. Y'all have probably done figured it out. Because if this tree is 200 years old, and this is 2025, that means in 17, let's see, 2005 minus 2000 minus 200 is 1800. 1825 is when they dated the tree, you know, and started keeping up with its age. 1825. Was it planted in 1825? Maybe. Was this property established and all this beautiful farmhouse and everything built in 18 and started in 1825? Yeah, it sure was. It tells it right there. You know, this is a cedar forest. It's so rare. I'm sorry I keep going on. I'll probably turn this into 2 or 3 videos. Look at this. Look at the old windows. There's a, you know, old 10, 9 pane, 8 pane, 12 pane window at the bottom, and then your 2 windows at the top, which are, you know, probably replacement windows. Probably all just like that. This is the old, I guess they'd call it a screened-in back porch or greenhouse. It's screened-in back porch. No, screened-in back porch, you know, because there's the back door. And this is neat. And this is the real deal too, y'all. You can go to Lowe's and try to buy it. People spend a lot of money trying to buy materials that are, you know, that imitate this kind of these kind of materials. Look, those bricks, those you know, pavers or bricks down there at the bottom, probably come from somewhere, because we used to have brick roads. And when the bricks got tore up, they would pile them somewhere and they'd reuse them because they're already kilned and square and brick, you know, and there they are. No telling how old the brick run is at the bottom of this porch, and it's sure the same age at the bottom of this whole house. Here it says fell over. These bricks are pavers. They call them pavers. We just call them bricks because red brick, you know. But you know, this around this whole house. Now, this is updated siding, but you can bet that this house at one point was this stone, because this is the same stone that was cut from right over there and brought here and made a full double step out of this one piece of stone, which is, it's got to be every bit of, you know, 500 pounds. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this video. We'll catch y'all back. Okay, so I know y'all all want to ask the question that we all ask because of our group. And I'm going to turn that question over to my friend right here, who is probably going to be a member of the group. You know, Carl will be, so y'all will probably get to know Carl, and maybe he'll put some inputs on your video. But anyway, Carl, we come up here and you said, okay, something lives here, and it was messing with maybe my dog or something around here at one time. So go ahead and tell me what you're going to say.
I noticed
Speak up.
it be some weird sounds going on out. Sometimes
Okay,
they'll be like birds. They get a lot of birds out here whistling now.
Sure.
I know bird whistles when I hear. I know boat weavers. I know
what are we hearing now?
Crickets.
What are we hearing now?
Crickets.
Those are crickets, big crickets that are
Big
like,
giant.
okay, now we got cicadas down here. They make a certain buzzing noise, and when did they come? The cicadas? The cicadas?
They come every 7 years.
Okay, the
They
cicada.
came last year here.
And I think the cicada hatch also has a lot to do with times that these things happen, because things do come in here to eat the cicada hatch. That when they hatch out every 7 years, so they're plentiful and they're a source of nutrition. Nutrition. But go ahead, Carl. What do you think, other than the sounds? And I mean, birds can make sounds. Coyotes make a lot of different sounds.
Yeah,
but what are you talking about?
I'm talking about it's be something out here whistling.
What do you mean by whistling, Carl?
It ain't just a normal whistle like.
What do you mean? Like it's whistling like it's got the lungs of a bull? Not a lung capacity.
A long.
Longer than you can whistle?
Longer than I can whistle.
Like you take care of your whistle. Can you whistle?
I could whistle
Okay,
a little bit.
but a normal whistle would be like, right, but how many times that?
Do it quite a few times.
100 times what you just done. Clear?
Long.
From what location?
30 seconds.
From what location? 30 seconds. All right. Now, I don't talk to Carl about things like this. I let anybody I've been doing what the interview I do for this group, I let them say their own things. When they say something like 30 seconds that we hear all the time, that's confirmation that some people see it or hearing the same things from maybe the same creatures. But so you hear a whistle from one creature at one point in place. Right?
Yeah, one point in place. But the birds be whistling, but it don't be a bird whistle, because I learned all the whistles out here, because we got bird feeders.
Right? What do you mean? Don't be birds. I mean, that same bird sounds just like a bird. Rooster sounds just like a rooster. Well, sometimes.
If it's a different time.
Or is it something imitating a rooster? That's a really good mimic. And a forest dweller that really mimics other animals to disguise itself and blend in.
Make the dogs think of the birds, and when they out
there. Hang on. Say it again. To make what?
Make the dogs think it's the birds and stuff out here. When they
why would they want to try to trick the dogs? Because they like coming to the dogs, don't they?
Yep. And the dogs used to bark. But now.
But why do you think whatever you were talking about wants to come to the dog? They won't make the dogs their pets.
They want to probably eat the dog.
What? You just don't say it.
I had 4 dogs missing in 1 year in less than 3 months. I had 4 dogs missing.
4 dogs just went missing. We're right here on the interstate. There's no traffic. Nobody's coming by here and picking up the dogs because they're stray, because there's no through traffic here. That's the interstate right there.
3 dog shelters: Cummer, Decatur, and Hart.
And that's cities that are local to here. But this place is not like we live on a city street and our dogs get out of the pen and somebody comes by and picks them up. So why would the dogs go missing, and why wouldn't they come back? They're your dogs. You raised them. They know where home's at.
And I went looking for them.
Calling for them?
I went to the places and looked.
Would they seem like they were taken from somewhere, or just disappeared?
Well,
was they in pens? Were they on chains?
They was on a chain. They was on a chain. 2 of them was on a chain. I come to my big male dog.
Big male dog?
Yeah.
Was he aggressive, or he signaled like protective of the place and let you know if something was around, like a predator or whatever?
Yeah, he was very aggressive if come on his property. Right. But then he started getting laid back when I got the female, the mom to the pup.
Okay.
And then next thing I know, I come out one morning, his change laying in the doghouse,
yes,
unhooked. It had a bull clamp on it.
Unhooked. Not broke, not bent, unhooked. Like you got something. What does it take to unhook that hook you do it? What are you using now? Your what?
my thumb.
Okay, so it's got to have something. Got to have thumbs
You gotta
to.
have 2 hands.
Okay, what he's saying, he's trying to tell y'all. We all. I'm just gonna point it out.
Well,
Charles trying. What he's saying is.